Hello! Can you believe it was more than a month since I streamed for the last time? um, anyhow, good evening. Good evening. No, I forgot how to stream. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever the time you have over there. I'm Paweł Spechalski, this is FPV University, and welcome to the FPV University live stream. Like I mentioned in the first sentence of the stream, it's been more than a month since the last time I streamed. I checked, it was in the beginning of the May, and then nothing, which is kind of strange and interesting, because, for example, a year ago, the streams were something that was happening every weekend. Now we had more than one of the break, and everyone's somehow survived. I have an excuse. I had no intention of streaming. That was my excuse. But actually, there is quite a lot of things right now happening in my life. Like, for example, this amazing Kozel Czerny, fantastic dark beer from Czech Republic. I became a huge fan of this thing. And also I became a huge fan of this wine glass. Because this wine glass fits exactly half a liter of this wonderful beverage. So, na zdrowie. Today is Saturday. We have some time, so we can stream about RC, FPV, and things like that. And I even have prepared a list of topics that we can talk about today. Of course, nothing prohibits us from you asking questions. Let me remind you that something like 3 years ago, this live stream was basically a Q&A. People were coming over here if they had any problems, questions with their drones, airplanes, INAV and stuff. And I was answering their problems, helping to solve them problems, answering this question. But then I don't know really when. The stream somehow transitioned to I don't exactly know what. Because it's no longer Q&A, it's no longer about helping people, it's about me talking about stuff. So you know. But still, I kind of miss this old live streams that was happening in 2019, 2020, because this moment when I was like streaming, answering questions, that was really amazing. I love that. So one more time, if you have questions, then you know where to ask them. The chat is open. I will, of course, try to make some of the interesting parts of the stream into the feature videos. Not promising anything, but who knows? That's almost like a tradition. I'm trying to save some time. And I'm reusing elements of this live stream. And also I have a question. Have you heard any interesting news about the FPV? But as an interesting, I do mean like an interesting, like super something groundbreaking, not a minor thing that now people are blowing up to the state of really news. Because if you ask me, I haven't. That's the interesting part. Maybe I'm looking into wrong sources. Maybe I lost the touch with the reality. But in the last, I don't know, 2 years, there is very little of the things that we can call really like the groundbreaking news, a super interesting development in the RC and FPV. We have only those small things. And to be honest, even not the small things. It's like, okay, somebody made a toilet drone. Like, yeah, that's something that's worth mentioning here and there. Of course, kudos for the guy who did it. But on the other hand, if this is the biggest news that we can have in this world, then maybe something is really wrong. But that's only part of this thing. I also think that today's stream will be more or less 1 hour long. We will not go into those 2 hour live streams because of reasons. And mostly because of, I don't remember when the last time there was enough of the topics to really go for the 2 hours, but who knows. But today, we for sure gonna talk about INAV 7, because this is something that's gonna happen in 2023, probably end of this year. We're gonna talk about INAV 6.1.1, because if you haven't noticed, there is already INAV 6.1.1, and you should upgrade. if you have INAV installed on any of the airplanes, then you definitely should update to INAV 6.1.1, but more of that later. We're gonna talk about the old stuff, because if you read the community tab on my channel, you probably noticed that, well, I'm posting a lot of pictures of my old builds. And you know what? I want to build something that's super like legacy. So I want to rebuild a frame like from 7-8 years ago with the modern equipment, modern hardware, and see how well or not so well this thing gonna fly. So that's something for sure. I have some interesting stuff from Radiomaster. Radiomaster sent me three of their new receivers, so we're gonna mention this thing. And I also going to show you those things. Also something that I mentioned in the community tab, the toroidal propellers. On the other hand, the full-length video about the toroidal propellers from Fox here will go live like probably on Monday, so not that much into the future. And we're gonna do the news. And the first element of the news will be the new ESC firmware. As probably majority of you know, the most popular ESC firmware is the BLHeli, and especially BLHeli 32. Over the last few years, BLHeli basically monopolized the firmware for the ESC market. There's BLHeli, yeah, there's BlueJay and similar stuff, but whoever still tries to install, like, I don't know, Simon K. Like, nobody is really doing that stuff. There are, of course, some alternatives, like, for example, AM32, but it's not the only alternative you can have out there. This is something I mentioned some time ago, I don't know, somewhere around March. There is a new firmware for the BLHeli 32 compatible ESCs that brings some of the features that are not present especially in the BLHeli 32, and is absolutely open source. Just like the BLHeli 32 is cloud source, the guys are not sharing their work with the community. The Escape 32 is open source, and only a few weeks ago they released the next version of their firmware. Yes, I know that the list of the fully supported ESCs maybe is not that big, at least seems like, but if you dig deeply into the list of the really supported ESCs, because the same firmware can be flashed to the different hardwares, it's not really that bad. So if you feel like adventurous, you would like to try something completely different in terms of the ESC and how to drive your motors, then you might take a look at the Escape 32, because, well, let's support the underdog. By the way, I personally love supporting underdogs. I usually then I'm hurt because I'm supporting underdogs, but that's me. So Escape 32 new version. Take a look. Maybe it will be something interesting for you. Lyle Bud, free flight, it is autonomous, free flight. Let's take a look at the free flight, because free flight, no, yeah, free flight simulators. The problem with simulators is that it's not really like super. I don't like simulators. I prefer real things. Anyhow, Lyle Ba, thank you very much for the super generous $20 donation. That's always nice when somebody gives you that kind of the money because of they like me. Oh man, if I was doing this whole YouTube thing only for the money, I would not be doing that, because the income is like dropping constantly, so this is absolutely not the reason I'm doing this, because I like it. But anyhow, that was the official part of the news, and now let's talk about INAV 6.1.1. You might be wondering, what the heck is INAV 6.1.1 when only a few weeks ago we released INAV 6.1? Unfortunately, together with INAV 6.1, we managed to release a bug. Although we tried to improve of the MSP barometer performance, we also broke the non-MSP barometers, and that was unfortunately resulting in not the best ever behavior of the fixed wing autonomous fly altitude hold. Instead of flying straight, it was doing something called dolphining. Dolphining depends if you are how you pronounce dolphin. It was just not holding altitude very well, and it was going up and down, up and down. So it was not really the best flight experience when autonomous flight mode was enabled. So return to home, loiter, cruise, you name it. Perfect in the acro mode, perfect in the manual, but anytime you enable the altitude hold, the dolphining was starting to happen, and that was well suboptimal. So that's why we have INAV 6.1.1 that basically fixes the problem by reverting some of the code to the version of the 6.0. And as the result, dolphining is no more. Good thing that it's a very small release, very simple release, because we basically only released this fix, a fix for the conversion of the units for the goggles, the GI goggles 2 and the Air Unit 03 for the OSD, and released one new target, actually 2, but that's a different story. So the update procedure from INAV 6.1 to INAV 6.1.1 is extremely simple. The only thing, you have to flash without full chip erase, just flash 6.1.1 over 6.1 and you are golden. No need to change anything in the settings, just flash it. And that's all. So kudos for that. Proposing. Sally, what are you proposing? Proposing to me? No, Sally, I will not marry you. But that's a completely different story. So so that's that. And now let's talk about INAV 7. The case with INAV 7 is that we don't know yet, no, from the top, because that sentence makes no sense. The thing with INAV 7 is that we have absolutely no idea yet when INAV 7 will be released and which features INAV 7 will bring. Why? There are a couple of reasons, and one of the most obvious reasons is that, well, it's really hard to make something ground-changing and also relatively cheap in development when INAV is working so great on everything. So don't really expect any major breakthroughs. However, there will be some improvements for sure. I'm even working on something that I call easy tuning. It's not automatic tuning, it's not auto-tuning, but something that hopefully will simplify the process of tuning of especially multi-rotors on the INAV 6. So that's planned to go for INAV 7. We're gonna have improvement in the landing. We're gonna have improvement in different drivers. We're gonna have improvement on the performance, etc., etc., etc. But if you ask me, most probably it will be rather an evolution, not really a revolution. Which is, on the other hand, which is kind of good and kind of expected at the state of the maturity of the project, of which the INAV is at this point. When that's gonna happen? End of this year. I would rather not expect anything before November, which sounds like the most probable date for at least for the release candidate of the INAV 7. And of course, a lot of minor tweaks and improvements, and just making your favorite flight controller firmware slightly better. But if, like, just take a look at what's really happening, for example, right now with the beta flight. They are also not really doing any major changes. It's like gradual rollout of the new features here and there. But at the same time, I think it starts to gather ideas for the name of the INAV 7 release, because for some time now we are naming releases. The last one, INAV 6, is the Horizon Hawk. So the idea is that it's a name of the bird of prey, most probably, and something that sounds funny, preferably on the same letter. So I don't know, horizon hawk, gulping, and name of the bird of prey with the letter G in front. You name it. If you have any suggestions, then if you have any suggestions for the name of the next INAV release, then please drop them in the chat. I will note them down, and later we're gonna have most probably a deeper discussion about this thing. I know it's still like half a year, but let's be prepared in advance. Galloping seagull. On the other hand, galloping seagull sounds kinda catchy. So that's it. Robert Rosser, hello. Hello, nice to see you. I'm fine, thank you very much. I'm alive still. I'm still alive. Actually, my health is better than in the last 10 years. I started cycling again. I really like mocking milvus. Okay, let's note it down. Why not? Started cycling, and the most important news, I already mentioned this once or twice. We are officially, my wife and me and my wife are officially starting to build a house. We have this apartment over here, which is kind of really big and nice apartment, but it's kind of too small. Us and the kids. This is our bedroom. I have no doors over there. Over here, the studio, my workplace, is kind of crappy, and we are starting to build a house. We got all the papers. We found a company that will build it for us. We don't have money yet to finish this, but this is a completely different story. And in the next 2 weeks. In 3 weeks, we should have the foundation of the house done. So kudos for us. You might wish us luck, because oh man, we're gonna need a lot of luck. I already feel it. I was expecting that there will be a lot of bureaucracy to put everything to build a small house. It's not really big, like the guys from the United States. This is really like a super small house, like 120 meters plus the attic. Nothing really big, and even the property is kind of small, but the number of the bureaucracy is just mind-blowing. It's incredible how many stupid papers you have to pull through to be able to start building. Like, incredible. Only the papers like we gathered so far is like that much of the papers for one story house, nothing really super fancy. Incredible. But yeah, the best part of this, that I will have a proper studio in the new house. Something like a third of the whole attic over the whole of the part over the garage is reserved as my studio slash man cave slash whatever. I intend to have like the proper streaming setup, proper recording studio, proper audio, and proper lighting, everything proper. I don't know when, but that's the plan. So I'm really like looking forward to it. Because then I will have doors, which is amazing, because having doors helps so much when recording materials. Like over here, I have no doors, so I can only record videos when there's no one at home, because if anyone is at home, the sound is just... for example, as attempt to soundproof this place at least a little, I did this thing. Those are the... sound panels. Yeah, they are not really sound panels, but look kind of cool. You put them on the wall to slightly reduce the echo. It's helping a little, not really perfect, because the acoustic in this place is like completely messed up. It's like 45 degrees, 90 degrees on the top, like sharp angles everywhere, and it's like resonate. It's like an echo chamber, So audio over here, having a proper audio over here is a nightmare. But helped a little, so it's getting better. I'm actually looking forward to all of that. But well, that's a completely different story. Would you like to see the house I'm building? Well, not me. I'm paying people. I will show you because let me brag a little. That's something we want to build. Actually, in the mirror version. So garage, over the garage, this whole section will be mine over here. This is my place. This is the front. This is the back, small patio, roof, blah, 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 and stuff like that. And if we go this whole section, this over here, like this, everything here will be mine. I will have a desk over here. I will have a desk over here, like 3D printer everywhere. So this is gonna be amazing. I'm really, 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 really looking forward to have this place. When? I hope in less than 2 years. Because although really like the company we hired to build like up to the roof, nothing else. They will do it in 3 months, then everything else connected with the house. That's gonna be something. Anyhow, let's go back to the FPV. Enough of this crap. Snorky FPV Poland. Why Poland? Because my kids want to stay Poland, so I'm building in Poland. Plus, really like I bought a land like 500 meters that direction. It's really like super close. So we even won't be really moving to a different place because it will be like over there. What a classy drink glass. No, Robert Rosser, this is a beer. Imagine that. I love those glasses because I have no proper beer glasses. So this is kind of best replacement. Fits half a liter. And today I'm drinking Kozel Czerny. Super amazing, dark, really like dark beer from Czech Republic. Love it. Very refreshing. Or maybe not refreshing. Anyhow, I like it. Thank you, Snark. Oh, I worked hard for it. But not in the FPV, no, not in the YouTube. No, YouTube is just a hobby. Man cave, yes, exactly, man cave. I have to have a man cave, finally. Strong stern, okay, another idea for the next name of the INAV relief. Strong stern, okay. Okie dokie, influenza. So that's that. Okay, INAV 7 covered, and now let me talk a little about the old stuff. I mentioned this already today, that in the recent weeks I posted a lot of pictures of my old builds, and I'm really like very much inclined to rebuild something I used to fly 7-8 years ago into the more modern version. Let me get the frame so I will show you what I have in mind. This thing is probably the most advanced frame you ever seen, because it's really like super advanced design. It works up to 12 inches. You can easily put a 12-inch propellers over here, but I think that 10 inches will be fully enough. The arms are foldable. You can fold everything. It's designed to carry the cables to the motors inside of the arms. It has the separate place over here for the ESCs and the electronics. Second deck when you can put additional electronics over here. It was designed so long ago that it still uses the 40-something by 40-something hole spacing. And if you want to put a modern flight controller into this thing, you have to have some kind of the adapter. And now we go to the best part of this frame, because it's really like super cool. This deck over here is not directly connected to the deck below. Battery sits over here. You put the gimbal or the camera over here in front, and everything is on those rubber grommets. So in theory, at least, it's vibration protected, and you should not have JLO. I know it says looks like a spoiler, right? It is kind of spoiler. Kind of okay-ish at least place to install the GPS and all the required spacing. And this was like an super advanced Polish design frame like 7 years ago. Even like the first videos on this channel, some of the flights I made with INAV were recorded with this thing over here. And they are still one of the most popular videos on this channel when, for example, INAV does perfect landing and this thing lands this thing. But I made some mistake with the design and installed 12-inch propellers on this. The vibration was just too much. The spoiler is amazing. The spoiler is the first thing that breaks after you crash, but yeah. The spoiler is really cool. It's called Transporter Q7. We can even search for it in the internet. There should be still something over here. Transporter Q7. Yeah. Okay. No, okay, no. Nobody's anymore interested in the Transporter Q7. Maybe something in the... No. Okay, it's officially dead. The project is officially dead. Nobody cares about the Transporter Q7. And I really would like to build this thing with the modern equipment. You know, digital FPV, modern link, modern motors, good 3-bladed 10-inch props, good motors. I'm already starting to look at the what's available on the market in terms of the motors, ESCs that will work great with that. I don't think I'm gonna need a lot of ESCs, like 30 amps should be absolutely fine. Also 28 by 12 motors should be fine to spin the props. This is rather the long heavy lifter, not something that you're gonna race with. But it was giving me a lot of fun when I was flying this years ago. RC Tom asks if I remember the Hobby King Y6 frame Scorpion. They will be cool with new electronics and FPV. I think I do remember something. Hobby King Y6. Oh yeah. Okay, Hobby King. That's fancy. Good old days of the FPV. Probably not. Probably not, but you have to admit that such a thing really looks cool. Because why shouldn't it look cool? I don't think you can buy stuff like that. And I really do think that you can get rid of this Scorpion thingy, because it really like doesn't make much sense to have it over there. But yeah. But this is something else I wanted to talk about today. I don't know if you noticed, but years ago, FPV used to be this crazy hobby when you had such an amazing options and people had such a great or stupid or terrible or horrible ideas to build something new. Like this frame from the Hobby King Y6 with the scorpion tail. Why? Fuck why? Because it looks cool, so let's do it. And that was amazing. People were experimenting, people were doing crazy stuff. Now everybody flies quads. Some people fly octas, and that's all. Nobody really is like experimenting. But only a few years ago, it was normal that people were flying quadcopters. People had like Y6s. I have, for example, over there Y4, but this is a completely different case. Bicopters. People were having fun with this kind of designs. Until then, everybody got bored, I think, and we basically settled on the quads. And this is kind of, on one hand, good, because with the standardization, we finally have the good quality of everything, because it's simple just to have the nicer quality. On the other hand, well, it's kind of boring, if you ask me. And there is really hard to find something that's really cool in the hobby. And majority of the development that's happening in the hobby are not really that cool. That's kind of sadish. On the other hand, it's not that the hobby itself is not trying, because hobby itself is trying. Hobby itself is still trying to find something good, something new that would bring new users and is bring wow factors. Especially manufacturers of stuff are trying to get something new to happen, to be able to make new sales. And a proof of that is something what I got. Those are the toroidal propellers, commercial toroidal propellers. Foxeer Donut. 3 months ago, the internet was full of videos about the toroidal propellers. Like, type in toroidal propellers into the Google search and you will find hundreds of videos from 2 or 3 months ago, when independent YouTubers were doing materials about the toroidal props, when you have basically this 8 shape or the 3 toruses acting as a propeller, because MIT said it is so amazing, so people were 3D printing those things and having fun, and then idea died, and then manufacturers caught up, and as a result we have, for example, those. I bought those because I saw them on the AliExpress, so I decided I will buy some. And I will test it if it's good. And you know what? I will not tell you if it's good. I will not tell you if it's good, because that would be not that good for me running a business. But I already recorded a video, and both my Patreons and YouTube channel members already have access to this video. Like 7 days ago, I published the video for members only about the Infinity propellers, the Foxeer Donut. So if you'd like to see early how those propellers are behaving, you can just buy the access to members or the Patreons. Yeah, you know, I know. I'm selling my services for a few dollars. I know, but well, this is how it goes. And I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not talking about only the Foxeer's donuts right now. More like the idea. I'm not sure that everything that manufacturers are putting on the market is actually worth it. They are trying, we are trying, everybody is trying to find the interest in the hobby and make people spend their money. So I got sad. I was not expecting that I will be sad during this section, but I am. I really miss old FPV. I will be melancholic right now. I really do miss old FPV. 2015, 2016. That was amazing time. That was amazing time to be in the FPV hobby. Everything was new, everything was hyped, everything was amazing. We were experimenting, we were having fun, and everything was super friendly and great. Now, like, okay, yeah, okay, not really. Just try to find something really like I know I'm repeating myself. Just try to find something interesting, brand new and interesting on the hobby. Really hard to find something. The hobby is trying, manufacturers are trying, but if you ask me, I don't think we're gonna have something groundbreaking soon. Okay. I think I have to stop because I got sad. I really got sad right now. Anyhow. Snorky FPV, what's keeping us from trying weird stuff? There are still things to try. Yes, absolutely, there are still things to try. What's keeping us from doing weird stuff? Time, money, and fame. Because you have to have time, you have to have money, and you want to get fame because of doing crazy stuff. And the fame is not really there because nobody gives a fuck about FPV anymore. That's normal. But I want to talk for a moment about the new stuff from Radiomaster. This will absolutely not be a review or anything like that. I just want to shout out for the Radiomaster receivers. There will be separate videos about that. But not today, I still have to record them. And another thought about those receivers from the Radiomaster is that twofold. First of all, just taking a look at that, those are Express LRS receivers. Both are Express LRS receivers, and looks like the Express LRS, with the help of companies like Radiomaster, is trying to get into the traditional area where the FreeSky radios recently FreeSky radios were. Because if you wanted to have non-FC airplane, that's a traditional airplane, you were usually the obvious choice was, let's go to the FreeSky, let's buy a 8-channel receiver, let's put everything together and let's fly. Then came the Express LRS with their ideas and the small receivers for drones, and now Express LRS is biting on the traditional FreeSky market. This it's even really like nicely packed. Like, who gives about something like that? 8-channel, yes, exactly. 8-channel, fully telemetry enabled diversity receiver for the traditional airplane models. Express LRS is going that road. Biting on what still is a domain of the FreeSky. Yes, I know, like Futaba and stuff. Futaba is pricey. And I'm really very much interested in how far Radiomaster and the Express LRS will go with that. How much they will be able to kick the competition out. Because if you take a look at the market of the radio receivers, I would be really very much surprised if Express LRS failed to fully monopolize the receiver market. Example: a friend of mine wanted to go with Crossfire. Oh, Crossfire is so amazing! People loved Crossfire. And he was trying to buy Crossfire hardware. He failed because apparently at that moment, it was just impossible to buy Crossfire hardware in Europe. Just non-existent for unknown reason, but known reason. So what were his options? Express LRS, and there was absolutely not a single problem to get the Express LRS hardware. So soon enough, we might have the absolute monopoly of the Express LRS. And I can't say that I'm super happy because of that. Because every kind of the monopoly poses problems. Because if you have the monopoly, you do not really want to move forward. You do not really want to upgrade and add new features. So for example, this thing. 6-channel, super tiny diversity Express LRS receiver for the standard fixed wing models without flight controllers, just servos and the radios, and you fly with this thing. Express LRS. This is Express LRS. It was not really a case like a year ago, so we could do stuff like that with the Express LRS, and now we can. which is a good thing. On the other hand, a monopoly would be a really, really bad thing for us. And I'm kind of afraid that we're gonna have the Express LRS monopoly soon enough, which is not. Real ACC Phoenix. Let's see what's Real ACC Phoenix rotor Simo. Rotor Simo, there were some PWM Express LRS receivers previously, so it's not that they are like super new, but this 8-channel PWM is like 8-channel PWM. You do not have to go with FreeSky or Futaba or whatever there is. You just can go with Radiomaster and standard Express LRS transmitters and everything works perfect. Monopoly. Good monopoly, bad monopoly. Don't know. Real ACC Phoenix. Okay, I made a video, so not. Maybe let's find graphics. Oh, this one. I remember this one. Oh, yeah. It's like... I even think that front and rear sections are exactly the same. Like, you just like flap them. Who wants me to design a frame like that? Who wants me to design a frame like that and to manufacture a small batch of such a frames? Do you want me to do it? I will do it. I will even organize the manufacturing of the small batch of such a frames. We're gonna call them FPV University Phoenix. Make like 10 units, and only 10 people in the world will have such a frame. Who thinks it's a good idea? If you think it's a good idea, hit like on the stream. But no, I'm honestly thinking about doing something like a small batch of the frames. Rotor Simo, what do you have in mind? What do you want me to design? I'm waiting. Phoenix line frame. Yeah, you see, exactly what I told you. Like this might be awesome. This might be really awesome. And it's super simple. It's super simple to design something like that. It's like the simplest frame ever. If you take a look at it. I have to think about this. I have to really think about this and make a limited edition of some kind of the frame. V-tails. No, I built a V-tail one CBR runner. V-tails suck. Honestly, V-tails suck. I don't know if I still have this video in my library, because I was doing the cleanup of my V-tail. Now I don't have this video, I think. Or maybe I gave it a strange name. No, but a few years ago I built a V-tail. Actually, I converted the standard frame into the V-tail by mounting the motors. No, it was not really flying very well. To be honest, it sucked because of the strange yaw movement. Building a mixer for this thing was super irritating, but it was flying nevertheless. So maybe it was A-tail? Let me check something. No, I have this video. After all. And it's still public. It was the A-tail, sorry. It was the A-tail, not the V-tail. My bad. But the difference was maybe not that massive. You see? I called it TITS. Tilted Indirect Thrust System. We are all adults over here, at least I hope so. So F-bomb from time to time is expected. So
and compromise we are having between all the
I
pros and
cannot
cons
really
of this.
listen to myself from 2019. Blah 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 blah.
Front motors
Same.
are tilted same plane as the
Let's find. Okay, now you see, it's a A-tail, not the V-tail. Okay, Rotorsimo says I should check something on Discord. Okay, will there be anything more interesting over here? I hate it when I hate my videos from like 2 years ago or even older. It's flying. You see? It's flying. Not the best flying.
to super to
Flying.
as a regular.
Anyhow, I'm not bringing back V-tails. I'm not bringing A-tails, but you know, wow, Rotorsimo, that's really like a phoenix. Plywood? Yeah, it's plywood. I love plywood. I have a plywood drone, by the way. Not that. Okay, the frame. I don't have the whole drone, but I have a plywood frame. Nice, man, nice. I would change the design of the arms if I were you. Make them slightly thinner and skinnier. But looks kind of interesting. Yeah, who was that handsome young guy in the video? Some say it was me. No, but when I started doing this YouTube thingy, I made a big mistake. I was not really improving my videography, cinematography, and I was not really improving on my presence. When I opened those old videos, I just cannot believe that back then, like 4 years ago, 2019 was not really that far, long time ago. Okay, Rotorsimo wants me to show it, so I will just show it. If I back then improved on my cinematography skills, that would be amazing. But I didn't. So that's me. So this is what Rotorismo is doing. I love plywood. I love wood. So that's his design. And like honestly, this might fly. This might absolutely fly. So that's something. Kudos, man. Like really nice. It's good that people are still building those crazy things. Oh man. Try to make the front and the back parts symmetrical, so you can swap them. That's always saving a lot of cost during manufacturing. If you have this in the Fusion 360, then sure, please send me. I might, if I will find some time, but I cannot really promise to find a time soon for this thing because of this house building crap. There's one more thing I want to show you. Not a full video, but not a full segment, but let me just quickly show you something. It's only 45 minutes. Oh, slowish. I got something like that. I have to record the video about this review probably next week. A power station. The company called Allpowers sent me this model S300 of their power station, which is basically a lithium battery with the built-in charger and the inverter, so you can plug two of the mains adapters and the QI wireless charger, but I don't have QI any compatible phones, so I'm not using this thing. And I'm playing with this thing for the last 2 weeks. Also, which is interesting, I also got the solar panels for this. So in theory, I can charge this thing to not to be dependent on the mains on the solar panels. Charging this thing from the solar panels, it's a time-consuming task. If you live somewhere when you do not have the electricity, then maybe it's a good thing. Also, the station itself, it has one problem. It's only 300 watts output power. So you will rather not use it as a camping aid. You will not boil water. You will not cook meal with this thing. All you can do, you can charge whatever you want. You can connect your audio system to this. You can charge some other batteries from this. And for the usage of the FPV, I'm trying regularly to use it to be able to charge my batteries when flying. And if you ask me, the 300 watts limit on this thing is kind of just enough to charge some LiPos on the field. If I take my dual channel charger, connect this on the flying field and play with this thing, works perfectly. Not the perfect device, but if you ask me, has some potential. Especially when you are into all the longer trips into the wilderness. It's not that heavy. It's not that light. I would rather not be backpacking with this thing because it's, I don't know, 3-4 kilos, maybe 5 kilos. So definitely not a light thing. On the other hand, it's not also that heavy. Yes, I know but I can use just the battery in my car. I'm always very careful when I'm using a battery from my car to charge anything, because at least twice already in my life, this ended in the situation when I had to get help after I discharged the battery. So that's that. But like I said, the longer video on this thing will come later. I still have to record it. And recently recording videos taking longer and longer because I'm trying to make better and better. So unfortunately it takes longer and longer. But this is absolutely something that you might expect in the future. So we still have 10 minutes of the live stream because I would most probably want to finish at 8 p.m. Central European time. So if anybody has any questions, any problems with INAV beta flight, probably right now is the best moment to start asking them. And from my side, in the upcoming weeks, I will try to stream slightly more with the more regular schedule. Because I miss streaming. That was really like a cool time when I was doing streams every week. It's kind of irritating right now because of the stuff that's happening around me, but still, it's nice. So if you have questions about anything, you have the chat to ask them, and I will be answering them. If, of course, there will be no questions, then we will be slowly ending today's chat. I will probably not have a second beer because one is enough. I'm drinking too much recently. But pressure? No pressure. I'm already in this moment, in this phase of my life when I'm only doing side quests. The main quest, main storyline of the game called The Life of Paweł Spychalski is basically finished. I did almost everything I had to do. I have a house, this one. It's an apartment, but still, let's call it a house. I have a family. I have 2 kids, two amazing daughters. I have a good job. I earn decent money. I have a nice hobby. I'm in a relatively good health right now. I started doing some exercises again. I feel fantastic, and I'm right now only doing basically side quests. I'm only doing things I want to do, like building this house. I want to build this house because I want to build this house. I'm running this channel because I want to run this channel. I go to work because I want to go to work. No, I have to go to work because I want to build a house, but that's a completely different story. So, absolutely no hurry. Side quests only. What motors, question from Robert Rosser, for the 13-inch propeller? TBS Source X frame and don't even know what to put on it. So there's a problem with that big of the propellers because you basically have very, very limited resources over there. And I can guarantee to you, Robert, that for the big props, you need a big motors. There is no going around. So just forget about Chinesium. And also you are very limited to the brands. I would, to be honest, I would start with the motor because they are usually have big and heavy motors for big and heavy usages. So start with that. With the size, hard even to say about the size. But I would go with more than 30 in the diameter and 16 of the height of the stator. Absolutely. Let's see what's here on the T-motor. U3, what's the size of the U3? Looks like a chunky boy. Looks like a chunky boy. Abnormal shaft. Who the fuck makes the what is abnormal shaft? What is abnormal fucking shaft? What's the size? Oh, for example, this motor is for the 12-inch props. So probably we need something bigger than the U3. So maybe U5. U5 looks like a bigger propeller. So pricey. You have to be aware that those things are pricey things. So for 12 to 12 kilometers, you find waterproof power type up. One more time, what the hell is abnormal shaft? And this is for the 15 inch. Okay, so we are more or less in the correct place over here. Of course, they do not really give the information about the okay, so the size of the shaft, not the shaft, but size of the stator is 42 by 37, but this is the whole motor dimension. So let's say its diameter is probably something more than 30 and something more than 20 in the height of the stator. There's no information about this, but from this we can assume that yes, indeed, the size. Okay. No idea. T-motor is never giving the real dimensions of the stator sizes. So I would honestly start looking on the T-motor side and then maybe try for something bigger. Or maybe the anti-gravity. 4004 for the 5006. Maybe not really. Long range, and what's the... Come on. What size of the propeller they recommend over here? 14 to 18 inch. That looks like so yeah, something like that looks okay. $84, still not cheap, but slightly cheaper than okay, so this is 4006, so maybe something like that should work for you. But really, there is not really that much of the choice in terms of those big motors. Marcin Lewandowski, there are no recommended 25 by 25 IO boards for lightweight 7-inch. Can I give 1 or 2 boards for start? Yes, I can, because there are. I have. There's a Foxy Reaper. Let's quickly go to the source code of INAV, because that's the thing. If you go to the SRC main target, there is a Foxy Reaper F, this one, and there's Gap RC F722 IO. So this is the first one, Foxy Reaper F745 AO V3. I had one until yesterday, but I sold one. And there is this Gap RC F722 all-in-one. I can show you the Foxy Reaper, not the Foxy Reaper, because like I said, I sold that one yesterday, but I can show you this Gap RC. Wait a second. This one, yeah. It's the second box of the flight controllers I have. Because it's not that I have only one box of flight controllers. I have several boxes of flight controllers. So that's that. Gap RC F722 all-in-one. 26 by 26. Of course, 45 degrees tilted. And this is the standard all-in-one. Pretty okay-ish design. Maybe not for something like, super fancy and powerful 7-incher, but the lightweight, long-range 7-incher most probably will work just fine. Supported in the INAV 6.1, and even with the 722 MCU should have basically all the features you might ever need. That's the box with everything inside. Kinda nice package, and I think that most of the pilots should be kinda happy. There are a few of those all-in-ones that INAV supports, but yeah, this is maybe not the most popular type of the flight controllers for INAV. iFlight makes 5215. That's kinda biggish for the 13-inch, but maybe. Paweł knows. That's my problem. I know too much of the stuff. Ricardo Ferreira, do I know if there will be any recent news about the AT32 chip? INAV supports AT32. You can use AT32 flight controllers with... there's only one. This one from the... I forgot the name, but I have the hardware over here. This one. Neutron RC. Neutron RC F745. It works with INAV 6, absolutely, 6.1, absolutely no problem. All the features are supported, flyable, flashable, and enjoyable. And also, from what I remember, the AT32 will be supported in the Betaflight 4.5. But of course, you have to wait for the Betaflight 4.5 to make that happen. If you have the hardware, you just have to get yourself the INAV. On the other hand, I have not heard a lot about the actual development in terms of the hardware, because this Neutron RC is basically the only one I'm aware about. Why? I think that the chip shortage is slowly ending. I have a gut feeling that availability of the standard STM32 will be better in the upcoming months. That's something I don't have a proof, but I think that manufacturers right now do not really have much problem of the sourcing of both the MCUs and also sourcing of the gyros. Like, look, some MPU 6000 flight controllers are starting to appear again. So maybe somebody like started to produce stuff. But even better, take a look at the graphic cards. You can easily, without absolutely any problems, get yourself a graphic card with the reasonable price. Like, graphic cards are cheaper than half a year ago, reasonably cheaper. Like, I updated my graphic card in my main PC, and then I had to replace the PSU, then I had to replace the case, but that's a completely different story. I got the RTX 3070 for like how much? $600. I paid something like $600, and then I sold my previous RTX 2060 for like $120. There was so much of the offering on the market that the prices were super low. When I last time checked on the prices of the used 2060s, that was probably 2022 still, the prices went down like the 50% or more. And you can even again buy flight controllers, F405s, that are priced around $40. So I think the availability on the flight controllers is actually improving, and quite soon enough there won't be any problems with that. And old pilots have bunches of stuff lying around. Yeah, that's the box with the modern stuff. I showed you what I have in the box with legacy stuff. I'm trying to sell that. I have too much. I have too much. Studio's looking good. Yeah, Nord 49 RC. Yeah, I really like. I started to love the videography, cinematography, shooting videos, editing videos. I love that stuff. I love that stuff recently. It's like super cool. Anyhow, those are, I think, all the topics I had in mind for today. We will be ending probably right now. So thank you very much for watching. I think we're gonna meet next week. on the next live streams because like I mentioned before, I have an intention of running live streams slightly more often, but having them shorter. 2 hours, it's too long. 2 hours, it's too long. So 1 hour seems like a very good length of this kind of the content. So I cannot confirm yet, but maybe next week, maybe next Saturday. I don't think I have anything planned. I absolutely don't think I have anything planned. So yeah, I will let you know. And like I said, one more time, thank you very much for watching. This was the FPV University. By the way, how's the name? What do you think about the rebranding of the channel? That it's no longer Paweł Spechalski, that it's FPV University. It's been more than a month since I rebranded the channel, and if you have any thoughts about that, drop them in the comments. Even after I end the live stream, because why not? So one more time, thank you very much, and most probably let's see each other next week. Ciao.